Yes, so now we are discussing about information technology. In that today we are discussing about integration design patterns. Emerging Enterprise Integration Patterns is a book by Gregor, Hoppe and Booby Wolf and describes the 65 patterns of this of the use of enterprise application integration and message-oriented middleware in the form of a pattern language. Next point is what design pattern you are using for integration. This is that is facade design pattern. This is done by defining simplified interfaces without using canonical models under the hood. However, the messages within these interfaces are translated into the canonical model. And next point is what are different types of integration patterns. Pattern 1 is migration, then broadcast and then bidirectional sync and correlation, and next is aggregation. And next point is API and integration pattern. APIs are crucial tools in software development, allowing users and applications to interact with software without understanding its inner workings. They come in different integration patterns such as REST, RPC, GraphQL, polling, WebSockets and webhooks. And next point is what is integrated pattern. Integration patterns are predefined solutions to common integration problems that organizations encounter when connecting and integrating different systems and applications. And next point is what are top 5 data integration patterns. That is data migration, broadcast, bidirectional sync and correlation and aggregation. And next point is REST API a design pattern. REST means representational state transfer and API means application programming interface. Design patterns are a set of best practices and conventions for designing web services that follow the principles of the REST architectural style. Next point is API a gateway, a design pattern. A centralized edge gateway is an API gateway design pattern in which all coming requests are routed through a single API gateway which sits at the edge of the system and routes requests to the appropriate backend service. And next point is what are integration patterns important. A business grow, connecting various software systems becomes imperative to streamline operations and automate process. Application integration patterns provide a unified approach to connecting different applications, microservices and data sources, fostering cooperation and allowing them to work in sync. Next point is what is integration architecture. That is integration architecture is a major part of every IT's landscape that simplifies the integration of numerous IT components, enables to trace data flow between applications. And next point is what is the full form of REST. That is representational state transfer is software architecture that imposes conditions on how an API should work. REST was initially created as a guideline to manage communication on a complex network like the internet. And next point is MVC a design pattern. That is model view control. MVC means model view control is an architectural pattern which separates an application into 3 main groups, that is models, views and controllers. Especially it will be very used in struts language, struts package or language. In that struts package, it will be models means it is architecture models and views, that is display patterns, and controllers are servlet controllers. MVC is abbreviated as model view control is a design pattern created for developing applications, specifically web applications. And next point is what is SOAP API. SOAP API, a simple object access protocol. SOAP means simple object access protocol, SOAP, and API application programming interface is a standard messaging protocol that operating systems use to communicate via hypertext transfer protocol, HTTP, and extensible markup language, XML. XML is heavily using in database references and preferences. And what is MVP and MVC? MVP is, you know pretty well about that, that is MVC is model view control, and MVP means model view presenter to, and MVVM, that is model view model, is the most popular and industry recognized Android architecture pattern among developers. What is RPC API? Remote procedure call and REST are both ways to design API. That is, remote procedure calls are always useful for communication system. APIs are message communication. APIs are essential in modern web design and other distributed systems. They allow two separate distributed applications or services to communicate without knowing the internals of how the other one works. And next point is, what is the difference between REST API and JSON? REST API is an application layer standard solution of communication, that is information exchange and operation control, implemented on top of the HTTP protocol by both the server components and the clients. JSON is a standard data exchange format. XML is a competitor other data exchange format. And next point is, what is the difference between HTTP and REST? No HTTP and request are the same. HTTP and request are REST are not the same. They are different components, while HTTP is a protocol that defines how messages are formatted and transmitted. REST is an architectural style that defines how resources are accessed and manipulated. This is the information regarding integration design patterns. So all these will be useful, but this is also a fundamental information only. But once if you go all these things, you can have a nice idea about integration design patterns. Then you can go in depth. You can go for different types of integration design patterns for further. Wishing you all the best.